Welcome to Speak English with Energy.
Hello and welcome to Speak English with Energy.
Today we're talking about something that affects us all, forgetting vocabulary.
I was trying to order food at a restaurant last week. I knew the word for steak but couldn't remember medium rare.
That's frustrating, especially when you know you've learned it before.
Exactly, and that's what we want to explore, why this happens.
It's not just about being lazy or not studying enough. There are real reasons behind why our brains struggle to hold onto new words.
And understanding these reasons can really help English learners improve their skills. So, let's dive in and find out the real reason you can't remember vocabulary.
And hopefully, by the end of this episode, you'll have some new strategies to try out.
I had a hard time remembering vocabulary when I learned Spanish. I would study for hours, but still couldn't recall basic words. It was frustrating because I knew I had learned them before.
That sounds really tough. What did you do to overcome it?
Well, I started using flashcards and practicing active recall.
That's a great strategy. Active recall can be really helpful.
Yes, and it's not just about the strategies, but also understanding how our brains work.
Exactly. Our brains are wired to forget, so we need to find ways to overcome that.
One of the main reasons we forget vocabulary is because of the way we learn it.
You mean, just memorizing lists of words without context?
Yes, that's a big part of it. When we don't use the words in context, they don't stick.
So, what are some better ways to learn vocabulary in context?
We can start by using authentic materials like videos, podcasts, and books.
And also try to engage in conversations with native speakers. That helps a lot.
I had a student once who was trying to learn English vocabulary by memorizing lists. She would spend hours each day just repeating the words to herself. But when I asked her to use the words in a sentence, she couldn't do it.
That's a great example, Victor. It really highlights the problem. I think a lot of people believe that memorization is the key to learning vocabulary.
Exactly, and that's a big misconception. Research has shown that we need to use vocabulary in context to really remember it.
So, what if our listener is trying to learn vocabulary for a specific topic, like business or medicine?
Well, in that case, they could try watching videos or TED Talks related to that topic. That way, they can see the vocabulary being used in a real-world context.
And they could also try to find a language exchange partner who works in that field. That would give them the opportunity to practice using the vocabulary in conversation.
Absolutely, and I think that's a really effective way to learn.
Okay, so let's summarize. Using vocabulary in context is key to remembering it.
Now, one common mistake learners make is trying to memorize lists of words.
That's right, and it's not very effective in the long run.
Instead, they could try to learn vocabulary in chunks, like phrases or sentences.
Exactly, and that way, they can see how the words are used together.
For example, if you're learning vocabulary related to food, you could learn phrases like make a reservation or order takeout. This helps to create a context for the words, making them easier to remember.
That's a great tip, Victor, and it's something our listeners can try this week. They can start by choosing a topic they're interested in, like travel or music.
Then, they can find some videos or podcasts on that topic and take notes on the vocabulary used. It's also helpful to review the notes regularly, maybe by making flashcards or summarizing what they've learned.
And don't forget to practice using the vocabulary in their own speaking and writing. This could be as simple as writing a journal entry or having a conversation with a language exchange partner.
By following these steps, our listeners can improve their vocabulary retention and become more confident in their language skills.
So, let's encourage our listeners to give it a try and see the difference for themselves.
Let me share an example of how this worked for me personally. I was trying to learn the word nuance and its different meanings. So, I drew a picture of a scale to represent the subtle differences.
That's really creative. Did it help you remember the word?
Yes, it did, and now I can recall it easily in conversations.
I can see how visuals can make a big difference in learning vocabulary.
Absolutely, and it's not just limited to drawings or pictures.
What other methods have you found to be effective for visual learners?
Well, watching videos or TV shows with subtitles can also be very helpful.
That's a great tip, especially for learners who enjoy watching movies or shows.
So, to recap, the key points are using vocabulary in context, reviewing regularly, and practicing actively.
That's right. And it's also about making connections between new words and your existing knowledge.
By doing so, our listeners can build a strong foundation for learning and remembering new vocabulary. One actionable tip is to start a vocabulary journal where they can note down new words and their meanings.
I love that idea, and they can also draw pictures or add examples to make it more engaging.
Exactly, and the more engaging it is, the more likely they are to remember the vocabulary.
It's all about finding ways to make learning fun and interactive, rather than just memorizing lists of words.
And by making it a habit to review and practice regularly, they can see significant improvement over time.
So, let's summarize: context, review, practice, and making it engaging are the keys to remembering vocabulary.
That's right, and I hope our listeners found these tips helpful in their language learning journey.
Goodbye, and see you next time on Speak English with Energy.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep speaking English with energy. See you in the next episode.